All right. I think it is going to be quiet tonight. And with all the ho-ho-hoing. Hi, Phyllis. So welcome to the Sunday night broadcast. I do this every Sunday night, 8 o'clock p.m. And if you'd like to join the live broadcast, you can click on the link below and go to my page where you can sign up. It's only $10 a month. And that also gives you all the back videos as well, because I only just edit some minutes and put them up when I remember. And I also have a Wednesday night group, which is not recorded, which is very informal, where we get to chat to each other actually over audio, not like messaging like this. Hi. And I also do one-to-one sessions. And I'm having a 5-day meeting here in Spain in the middle of May. I will put that on my website by the time it's New Year, hopefully. And I think that's it for now. I just want to thank all my patrons who allows me to do this, which is great. The thing I love to do. I think that's it. I know it's called non-duality, but I don't know if you've noticed a lot of my titles have taken that word off, but I've got my bloody email with it on. There we go. Non-duality, not two. Well, is there not two? Is there two? Do either of them really matter? Can we ever really know what either of them mean? Two or not two? Have we invented those concepts, those ideas? Have we invented them? Do they have any reality when you look at them just as a concept? Really? I can't see any reality in them. I don't even know what reality means. There's just sitting in this room. I don't know if there's separation. I don't know if there's no separation. Because neither are running as a narrative. There's just life happening. Just that. Too simple. If someone says to me, does it feel separate? And it's like, well, no. Does it feel not separate? It's like, well, I don't know. I really don't know. It just is. I guess that could feel like not separate, but then again, why put that on top of just sitting in a room? It's not really applicable, is it? I never really addressed those words before. I think they're worth addressing because separation and no separation is just as much in the realm of concept as me and no me, of everything and nothing, of empty and full, of real and unreal. The whole lot is just a bunch of nonsense, really. They're interesting concepts, but they actually have no reality. And to say, I realize no separation, I realize that there is no separation, what would that mean exactly? I had the idea there was separation, I felt separate, and now I don't feel separate. It's like, well, is that true? Or is the whole notion of it just gone, just simply gone? There's just this. There's just this. Just what is. I think I might write an essay on that. That'll piss a few people off, won't it? Oh. Anyway, if people want to ask things or comment or, talk about any of this stuff, please go ahead. Yeah, separation and no separation or wholeness all sounds like a path to somewhere else other than this. It really does, doesn't it? Has there ever been a path to another this? Another this? It's like, really? You show me the other this. You show me the other reality that is being talked about. The no separate reality, which is different from the separate reality. Is it? Is it? Or is it just this? With the idea of I'm separate going on, which doesn't really matter because that's not separate anyway. That's just what's happening. Yeah, whatever is happening, we can't say what is means. What being means. Nobody knows. No! Nobody knows. Ah, it's brilliant. That's the real freedom, isn't it? That's the real freedom. Not the liberated freedom or the like, I don't give a crap freedom because there's no separation and everything's meaningless freedom. Just the freedom from all that rubbish. Freedom from the burden of trying to know, trying to find something else. Yes, it's just a believed story that I'm separate. Separation is a name that somebody else created. Yes, yes, separation. I mean, some speakers talk about how we feel separate as a child. I don't know if I did feel separate as a child. I think I just felt pained and alone. Is that separation? Does the human being just operate as a human being? And it is kind of separate, isn't it? It's a kind of a little world on its own. But it has to be a little world on its own, because otherwise it gives the notion that somehow the little world on its own somehow goes whew into everything. Whew, I'm now the wall, I'm now the floor, I'm now this, I'm now that. Maybe the idea of separation is I think it's just a misunderstanding, terming the human life, as it were, into the word separate. Then everybody's like, well, I've got to be not separate now. I've got to be not separate. That means that something has to happen to me in order to be not separate. It's like, well, trying to be not separate is just the notion that's been given that I am separate. I remember growing up as a teenager and a young adult, then an older adult, and now a much older adult, not really knowing about the idea of being separate. I was never given that notion of separation until I came across it. But it's not really not separation. It's just the end of all those ideas and stories and teachings and notions that we hold as being true. It's just the end of those. And really that is freedom. And that's being liberated from a prison of concepts. It's not a prison of the self, it's a prison of concepts. And that's not any kind of mystery or any kind of, that's just actually just, as Keel said the other day, just practical. It's a practical thing. You know, it's a belief that's held and it gets pointed out. And then one has to examine that belief, not believe someone else. Believing someone else was the problem in the first place. I mean, I don't believe what I'm talking about. It has to be examined for oneself. Is the concept that I'm holding on to, that something's going to happen, is it true? Where did it come from? Where is it? It's just a story.